And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before I even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier. Rachel,
Yes,
would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rachel.
Dees.
So I had an interesting experience earlier.
Uh-huh.
I like to watch these videos of people reacting to things that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not really like as a justification for liking it, but just as like a, hey, but someone else experiencing something for the first time makes me feel like I'm experiencing it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I know where all the cool things are about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happens, I get to watch and kind of enjoy that reaction.
Right.
Right. So I do this all the time where I watch these like reaction videos to things.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching some people react to the Beastie Boys, and I love the Beastie Boys. I do. It was like one of the first albums I ever owned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I'm listening to three MCs and one DJ when there's like this long open where they like walk down a staircase while the Beastie Boys are kind of like posing like an album cover. They
Right.
get down there and they put this record on the turntable, and then they start scratching, right? And it's just so good. It goes from like complete dead silence to like this breakbeaty kind of. It's so good.
Yeah.
Everything about it's so good, right? And I remember being like, as soon as I see the guy with the big fucking proton pack backpack walking down the damn staircase, I'm like, I know exactly what this is, right? And like, but I watched this like compilation of people reacting. It was like 50 different people. That's hyperbolic. It was like 15 or whatever, but they were all watching and nobody had any understanding of what they were watching. Like nobody knew what it was, where the cool thing was happening, which was the whole purpose of me watching it. But I was like, this is the Beastie Boys. Like, how the fuck do you not know this? Where the fuck have you been? Right?
They are very recognizable. At least I would think that the Beastie Boys are very like common knowledge.
Right. And then I started thinking about all the people in the video looked like they were in their 20s. And I was like, oh no, is this how it happens? Is this what happens when you get old? And then you told me a story. You want to tell?
Yeah. So this happened years and years ago. I mean, I've never been like the most up to date with a lot of pop culture. Right. But I remember the moment that first happened to me, like that realization happened to me, was that I was in a grocery store and I was standing in line at the checkout counter, and there's like a row of magazines at the checkout counter.
That would get you up the magazine every time.
I'm just bored, so I look over, and one of these like major magazines, I can't remember if it was like People, Entertainment. It was like
I can't even name the magazines. So, yeah.
It was a big name magazine, and it had a picture of Justin Bieber on it, and it said like Justin Bieber, music's hottest new pop star, or something like that. And I remember looking at it and being utterly confused. I legitimately did not know who this person was, even the name. I had never heard the name Justin Bieber before. And I was like, who is this? How are they so like famous in music that they're on this major magazine cover? And I legitimately have never heard anything about them before.
Yeah. I was saying before, I was like, it sneaks up on you, right?
Yeah.
So like I was watching one of these like video people get hurt shows on MTV. Just like it was on in the background while I was doing something else.
Yeah.
And this commercial for an upcoming VMAs came on, right? The Video Music Awards. And so I'm expecting to hear some names I know and some names I don't. They said like 20, 27 names in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard a single fucking one of them.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
who any of these motherfuckers were. None of them. And I was just like the further we went through the names, I was just like, oh God, I don't know any of these. Oh God, I don't know any of these fucking people. I'm like, what about that one? Do you know that one? I'm like, no, you're just lying to yourself. You've never heard that fucking name before. And you're like, and each time they said a name, I kept hoping. I was like, this is the one. This is the one.
It's like, no, I just know what that word is. I've never heard of it.
I've heard that word somewhere else before. So we get all the way through the end, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know any of them. And they're like, and the Lifetime Achievement Award for Green Day. And I was like, I just gonna load this gun up with bullets and shoot myself.
Oh no.
Just put one in the brain. It's over.
It's over. Anytime that happens to me, which it does happen to me, I feel like I'm just going to crumble into dust and like blow away in the wind.
Mm-hmm. Did we win, Mr. Stark? Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, no, I get that vibe too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was so I love Nine Inch Nails. It's like one of my favorite bands. I love Trent Reznor and a lot of his music. And there was and I've always wanted to like go to a Nine Inch Nails concert because I love the music. I think it would be really cool. And then recently, Trent Reznor announced that he's like sort of semi-retiring Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah.
And like on one hand, it makes sense because he's not like an angry heroin addict who's 20 years old anymore. He's like a family guy who's married and has kids.
And does heroin for fun on the side.
And makes like award-winning soundtracks for music scores.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I'm like, I never get to see Nine Inch Nails in concert now because they're like,
yeah, but do you really
that
want to
vibe
go
is
to
over.
Nine Inch Nails in concert?
Probably not, honestly.
I think the perception of concerts is so much cooler, and the story that you tell about going to a concert is cooler than the concert every time.
Yeah.
I think that if we were honest with each other, nobody would want to go see another concert ever again. Right? If we were just deeply honest with ourselves. Like, I get there are going to be people that are going to be like, Dees, no, of course I want to go to the concert. I'm a music person. That's where the vibe, the energy, like, look, man, like, you're lying to yourself and you're lying to me. It's okay. You can be honest. It's all right. There's no judgment here, you know? Those places, everything's sticky. Fucking beers cost $14. People bumping into each other. You're going to get sick.
It's loud.
I mean, the music never sounds like what you listen to.
Yeah.
You know? There's always some jackass nearby screaming the song worse than the guy singing it. And it ruins it. Look.
Yeah.
Look, I love the Dropkick Murphys, right? I'm not really a concert guy, but when my friends told me one time, they're like, we're going to go see the Dropkick Murphys. And I'm like, fuck, I love the Dropkick Murphys. I'm going to go see them. So we all like made this big plan. It was like 14 people. It was just like a long plot to get to the concert. And there's this long fucking line. Parking was a nightmare. We finally get into the venue. I'm like, man, I need to just get a Guinness or a car bomb or something. So I go. By the way, car bomb's a drink. Don't think I was like doing some IRA shit or whatever.
No.
So I go and I'm like, all right, a Guinness, and they're like $17. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, okay, how about just a shot of Jameson? And they're like $12. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go be thirsty. Right? Like, I'm not paying that. Like,
no.
So then, like, you go listen to the concert, and the concert, in all fairness, they were very good live, but just every person there was insufferable.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, when I'm done here, I get to leave and walk out with all these jackasses, and every restaurant in a million miles is going to be packed. And I just like,
it's going to take forever to get out of the parking lot because everybody's trying to leave at the same time.
Yeah. It was just like, I'm like, man, objectively, I could show my support for this band by buying another album from them.
Yeah.
Right? But they
Yeah.
don't get all the money, so I guess I'm torn. You want to support the things you like, but I don't want to go through the effort. Maybe I just buy the ticket and not show up. Maybe. Can we just I'll buy the ticket, write a letter on it, and send it to the band. I'm like, hey, good for you guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
The instinct to not want to do that is, I guess, maybe like a personal one. I guess some people do really like that kind of thing. You go to ghost shows all the time, right?
I do. Yeah. I'm not going to one this year though, because I'm trying to save money, but
do you ever feel like when you went there you're like, this is just like the album?
I mean sometimes, but they are very theatrical also.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the norm for a lot of concerts, to be honest.
If I could make sure that like the band Muse got less popular, like if I could guarantee that only like 1/10 of the people that show up at a Muse show showed up, I would like to go see Muse.
Yeah.
But I can't promise that. They've just gotten more popular over time, and that's very upsetting.
Yeah.
Now I'm never gonna.
That's how Ghost is. Like, some of my early Ghost shows, like I've seen them twice in Maine, which Maine is not really like the hot concert destination.
Yeah, Maine, sweet.
But they're like just getting more and more popular, and so now they're like, oh, we're just going to Massachusetts to play at this like giant sports venue.
Yeah, that's the thing though, right? Like I don't want to have this get misconstrued. Like I do want the bands that I think are good to get popular. I'm not one of those like hipster fucks, right? That like only likes a thing when no one else likes it.
Right.
I want them to do well.
Yes.
And when they do well, I want to cheer for them. Good for you guys. You guys put in the time. You made good music, and now people are finally coming around to it. That's good for you guys, right? That's not a sellout. That's a success, right?
Right. Yeah.
That being said, once you hit a certain number of fans, I can't go to your shows. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'm already predisposed to not want to go to your concert just because of the convenience loss. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe you got to wait for him to come back around and be not popular again. And then you can go see him.
Right. In the meantime, you can see those all those strange named MTV musicians that they list.
Smokes Perp 420. The headlining fucking Bonnaroo this year. Sweet. A hologram of some dead guy I've never heard of.
Yep.
Who was popular years after I stopped giving a fuck. They've now got a hologram of him, and he'll be performing 14 shows with Tupac. Sweet.
Just what they both would have wanted in life.
Just what they both would have wanted. I mean, Tupac probably would have been cool with it. I think Biggie probably would have been like, fuck that.
All right. Well, do you want to get to this week's episode?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Return to Ravenloft, Season 2, Episode 2.
Nice.
Draggin, Draga's Dead.
Oh.
Ooh. We were rowing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys passed your last road check, so you guys continue down the river. Stopping for a night on the shore, or you guys just going to hang out on the boat as you guys are going down?
No. How many days is it going to take to get there?
Till your best guess to make landfall? Probably. I'm going to be generous and say 3.
Okay. Well, then I think we should probably be on land.
I agree.
Yep. We'll take one of those meditation / long rest thingies.
All right. So you guys going to take the eastern shore or the western shore?
Which one looks the least dangerous?
Property values are better on the eastern shore. But the schools are better on the west, so
Fuck schools. Nate said some shit like he's like, "You've had kids for too long. I don't give a fuck about schools.
uh,
I'm fucking bringing
All right.
kids out here to the fucking Snake River."
all right. Either way is not bad. You guys know that the Vale is to the eastern shore, but you guys aren't starting to travel inward yet. So
and the western shore is what, more the desert side or towards the desert side?
no, no, you'd have to go through the Vale to get to the desert.
Ah, okay. So it's just some more dumpy ass swampland over there.
Yeah, actually, the western does lead to the swamplands. More swamplands.
I say
Well,
east.
Those swamplands go way down.
Yeah.
East.
The
East.
Great Salt Swamp is that area.
Ooh. Great salt swamp, just like grandma used to make.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, eastern shore it is.
Okay.
All right.
When we camp, I want to summon a guardian of faith to sit near me while I rest.
All right.
It is a large spectral guardian that appears and hovers for the duration, which is 8 hours, in an unoccupied space of my choice. The guardian that occupies space is indistinct, except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of my deity.
Oh, I can't wait to see what symbol pops up on this fucking thing.
I don't know, David.
I was like, is it Adri's god or is it Kess's? I'm waiting for this cleric to kick in.
It's the symbol's scratched out. It's all scratched out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's a pair of dice.
Uh-huh.
I still want to be left out.
All right. Do you warn anyone before you cast this behemoth?
I'm not gonna warn anyone because I'm just gonna cast it like as we're doing like setting up camp chores.
All right. Describe how you cast it.
Well, it's just a verbal component. So, Kess will take out her sword, and like she'll hold it like point down, and sort of like say something like while she's holding the sword, like about summoning, something to watch over her while she rests, and then it'll materialize in front of her.
And what's the description of it again? One more time, please.
It is a large spectral guardian that appears and hovers for the duration. It occupies a space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword and shield emblazoned with the symbol of your deity. So I always picture it like it's a figure in armor, but like the face is in shadow. And I always, because Adri has never cast this, but when I looked at the spell, I was like, if Adri would cast this, I feel like whoever this armored figure is, they would be like sort of like not overly feminine shape, but maybe you could tell that like whoever was wearing the armor was like feminine.
All right, I'm good with that. The armor does look rusted and old though.
Okay.
As the Dread Realms manipulate the shape of it, it's as it's indistinguished, you still don't see the face or anything, but instead of the shining armor, it's more of an older armor, like with a slight decay, but it still gets the point across.
Okay.
And that's when Hawks loses his living shit. As this like 10-foot, 12-foot floating thing is now standing there in full armor. and he screams the loudest you guys have ever heard him scream.
Ox, it's okay. This is just like a guard for the camp.
Nothing that spectral's okay.
It's
Persuasion?
just gonna hang out while we get some rest and help to keep us safe. Persuasion. 8.
A help action.
21.
Oh, okay.
Thank
I was
you.
about to say the 8, he runs for the river. No, the 21, he kind of calms down and just sits next to it.
Okay.
And we get to poke it. And just poke it.
So any creature that is hostile to me that moves to a space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time, they have to make a dexterity saving throw, and they take 20 radiant damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. The guardian vanishes when it has dealt a total of 60 damage.
So hostile towards you,
Yes,
not curious hostile towards it.
correct.
Okay. So yeah, he sits there poking it over and over. Kind of like the dudes that fuck with the British guards.
It also doesn't give a shit about me or Kevin,
Mm-mm.
does it?
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Summon your own.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's okay. I'm just going to work under the impression that something that intimidating will cover us, regardless of whether it's willing to fight for us.
Well, I just figured it'd probably be less noticeable if we did have giant things standing over us.
Well,
All right. All right. No. Okay. So, what are the other two of you doing now that there's this giant floating glowy? Ooh, almost knocked
It's
my
not
water bottle.
glowy.
Oh, spectral floating.
It is spectral. Yes.
I don't know. I'll probably make camp in a tree if I can help it. How do the trees look to climb here?
They're not bad.
All right. Well, then I'm going to try to do that.
All right.
I just don't want to be on the ground if I can help it.
All right. No, that's fine. Yeah, you're. Give me a survival for climbing the tree and.
Survival?
No, I'm sorry. Acrobatics. I'm athletics. My bad.
Oh, god damn it! I just made it worse.
I'm tired.
Do you need a boost, Kevin?
Shut up.
All
right.
16.
You get up the tree, no issue.
I just want to point out it's ironic that Rachel's the one asking Kevin if he wants a boost.
Yeah, she's just living that fucking dream while she can.
Completely totally average height person is.
It's what we like to call high fantasy.
I gotcha.
All of her characters are the pinnacle of height at 6'1".
So
not short, don't sleep. What do you do?
All right. So what is Rayne doing?
Well, I suppose I'll be making camp. I'm not going to climb into a tree, though. I imagine I'm just going to, fairly certain within I have a bedroll, yes. So yeah, I will likely do my best to try and collect something dry in which to start a fire, so that we have one.
All right.
Might be a little bit difficult being here at the coast, but I'll do my best. And then yeah, I'm just gonna make myself as comfortable a place to sleep as I can and get ready for some shut-eye.
Give me a survival as you go check for the wood.
Oh boy. Man, I didn't find shit. That's a 9. I mean, I guess I don't. I guess I managed not to stab myself with a piece
Well,
of
you
driftwood.
find some stuff, but it's mainly wet.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Do I have? Okay. Weird thought. If the wood is wet, could I use a destroy water to kill all the moisture out of it?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. I mean, in a vague way, I suppose a log is a container. But
if I rule it this way,
What?
can I have an NPC destroy the water inside your body later as a container?
well, see, now we're gonna get into that
No.
argument.
No.
Is that where you're going, Dees?
Look, I'm not going to argue whether or not water will separate from things anymore.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to do the best I can with the slightly damp wood that I have. Tis, to try and start a fire.
All right.
Do we want to set up watch?
I'm already asleep. I'm just a kid.
he's a growing boy. He needs his rest.
Yep.
Well, I figure since you meditate for 4 hours,
That's true. I do.
I'll go ahead and take the first watch while you meditate, and then when you're done with your 4 hours, I'll get some sleep.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to sit next to my guardian of faith and meditate.
How deep in meditation are you?
I don't know. The normal amount.
All right.
Where does Kess go? What does her happy place look like when she goes to meditate? Is it just full of decapitated bodies and
just her standing above a bunch of shorter people?
I'm in a field of ducks.
Well, I read that with elves during their meditation they can sometimes get like visions or prophecy or things like that, but I think normally it's just like a sort of mindfulness kind of thing, or maybe thinking about something that happened during the day. I don't know. It doesn't go into like a lot of detail about it.
Gotcha.
Give you visions?
Hmm?
I can give you visions if you want visions.
I'm not saying I want visions.
Well, that sounded like a veiled threat.
All right.
Hey, baby, you want some visions? I was like, whoa.
So, Rayne, you see as Kess is meditating, Hawks begins to creep up close and get about 4 inches off her face and staring at her, trying to figure out what's happening.
Hey, stop that.
Why?
You're gonna kind of wake her up or something.
I can hear you. I can hear you both.
Oh, shit! He jumps back and rolls back. He goes to hide behind the specter.
You're not nearly as deep in meditation I would have expected. What does it take you like a good hour and a half to get to that state? Or
you're sitting like 10 feet away from me talking.
Well, I just figured you zoned us out. Fine, next time I'll let him poke you in the eyes. How about that?
He goes and curls up next to Rayne.
Yeah, great. I'm gonna smell like soggy wet coal mold now. Great.
Oh, okay. He pulls the skull and he puts it in your lap. Sister wants to help sleep with you.
Oh, well. Now I feel complete. Thanks, Hawks.
He pats your thigh and just curls back up, pulls his tail in. 4 hours pass, no issue.
Well, that's good. Time for me to get some sleep. I will wait for Cass to come out of whatever state she's in.
All right.
Nothing to report there. All's well on the eastern shore.
Okay. Well,
So I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, I'll keep an eye on things.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I look over to the tree where Kevin is. What's he doing? Has he fallen out of it yet?
Is Kevin even here?
I hope so.
I think he's muted.
He is muted.
Oh, I was talking. I thought I unmuted.
Oh shit!
I was like, I'm like, you guys are just being dickheads. And then I was like, oh, it didn't click. No, I passed my check. I'm in the tree asleep.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're up in the tree sleep.
I just didn't know
if you want to
once
sleep.
No,
if
you're just
want
trying to manufacture another check is what you're trying to do. But I'm asleep and I'm not moving. And
I don't know if you're a
my check.
sound sleeper. Maybe you toss and turn in your
Look
sleep
at him.
night.
He
You roll
can't-
off the fucking branch. I don't
He's
know.
just like trying to get me to do more rolls, but it's not gonna happen. I already passed it. So
Okay. All right.
All right.
he's like, "You sure it's not windy or something?" It's like,
There's not some birds that are really territorial in that tree.
Those snakes that were in the river haven't come to home to roost.
Nobody can smell the clothes that Rayne is wearing that smell like fucking fish. Like all the time because
I don't smell
he
like
sweats fucking fish goo.
That's not how it works.
You turn into a fish. You
Right.
are wearing the clothes that you are wearing, correct?
Well,
Have you
I
said
mean,
at any point during this game that you washed your clothes?
who in who,
There you go.
who washes
There we go.
their
Fish goo.
clothes?
Fish goo.
Okay. Sharks don't.
And he's always
Sharks-
moist because he's a water genasi. So it's just like this goopy.
Look,
like he's got like the back of a wet frog.
that is just
gunk.
that's just my natural effervescence.
Right. Right. You can fucking push him, it'll stick to a wall. Fucking gross.
Oh, that's fine. Just wait till we're in the desert and you need some water.
He'll let you look at the fish. Never mind.
No. All right, I'm on watch.
Lick me if you want to survive.
They're going to sleep.
All right, I'll get my
All right.
I'm
8
not
hours of required long rest.
Okay.
All right. All right. How do I want to do this? Famous last words.
Oh no.
Early morning. You guys are they're resting. It's been calm. Give me some perception. Cass, a perception roll.
Perception. 22.
All right. In the very faint distance, you think you hear swords or metal and a slight clang. You think you can faintly pick up a sound of a battle in the distance.
Do I know which direction?
East.
I can't see anything.
Not through the trees. The sounds traveled quite a bit.
How close does it sound?
Not really close. It's. I mean, you're catching feints of pieces of it coming through the trees, kind of. Like,
Okay. I'm gonna look at. Well, Rayne's probably still asleep, right?
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Hawks and Kevin, see if they're still asleep.
Hawks
You
is
can wake me up.
curled up. Hawks is curled up.
Okay.
I think Rayne left him where he was curled up. I don't think Rayne stayed with him.
Okay. I'll go over to
Since
Kevin's tree.
I'm gonna do my portent roll since I just woke up.
All right.
Okay, 17. Excellent, thank God. 13. Doable. Okay, 17, 13. I'm gonna look. I have one eye open.
Hey, I think I hear some fighting out in the woods. I think I hear like swords. So
You want me to check it out?
you're probably quieter than I am.
I am. All right, I'm gonna swing down, you grab the side of the branch I was sleeping on, and then kind of swing down and then release.
All right.
Do I need to roll, or is it?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do a stealth check. Cool.
Yeah.
29. Or sorry,
Oh my
30.
God. You just
30.
disappear in front of me.
He is the tree now.
No, I just, like stealthing for Kaeviir is like just it's like opening the fridge. It's not hard. It's like,
All right. Yeah. You pretty much just vanish almost.
yeah, I'm very comfortable with kind of being stealthy, so I'm just going to kind of walk leisurely in that direction, but it's just completely silent. And then as I get to a part where I start to feel like maybe visibility is starting to become a little more open, then I'll kind of crouch.
Okay.
And kind of do like I'm walking at normal speed, but just incredibly adept at doing this.
All right. Give me a perception.
23.
Okay. As you're continuing to move through the forest, it stays pretty much semi thick as you move through it. I mean, the trees. I mean, they're larger trees. The leaves are green. I mean, this part is actually pretty lush, a little lusher than what you have been in.
Mm-hmm.
The ground has a moss to it almost as you're moving through the different bushes. Your nose picks up the smell of fire or burnt flesh. Just it's kind of a toss up between burning flesh and just like actual fire smoke you're picking up
Right.
feints of as you're continuing moving closer. So as you get closer, you're leisurely walking. It's been a few minutes. You're about a quarter mile away from camp as you're moving. The sounds of the combat has stopped.
Okay.
By about this point, are you continuing?
No, I'm going to stop until I can understand why the combat stopped. Does it
Okay.
sound like it came to a slow, like it kind of dwindled off, or does it
Yes.
sound like it just stopped all of a sudden?
No, it wasn't a stop all of a sudden. It sounded like it dwindled, like it
Like they killed the last person.
yeah.
Okay.
The crickets are gone. I mean, there's no real animal sounds in the forest at this point. Whatever was going on did scare things away. The smell is there, it's lingering, but you're not hearing the sounds of combat anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, then I will continue, but I'm going to be very low to the ground. I'm going to be very
Okay.
intentionally stealthy here.
All right. As you're continuing through, you can get a couple glimpses skyward above the tree line before the barrier of fog in the sky, and you actually begin to see some black smoke starting to go up in the sky ahead of you.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
About east, little northeast.
Okay. Well, then I will head in that direction just so I can get a clear line of sight to whatever's over there.
All right. As you're continuing to move, you start seeing it open up slightly, but not really much. But ahead of you, by about 30 feet, you see the first body.
Okay.
You see a dwarf in heavy armor. He's in half plate.
Okay.
He has a great sword next to him lying on the ground that seems to be chipped in places.
Is freshly killed?
Yeah, the blood's fresh. That the smell of the blood is actually fresh.
Okay. Does he have any emblems or logos or anything like that on him that would? I don't know how close can I get to him without having to really pass a stealth check? Do you think? Like, just how dangerous would it be to approach him?
You're not seeing any others immediately around him right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can see past him. You can see through some of the open tree lines, but you're not seeing anything standing. You actually do see somewhere the smoke's coming up past you, probably about 50, 60 feet ahead of you. But right now you're just seeing um this dead dwarf kind of up, kind of cockeyed against the tree.
Okay.
So there's a lot of blood from the neck area.
Mm-hmm.
The face almost looks like it's been ripped off.
Okie doke. How about up in the sky? Anything up in the sky? Any
You're not
since there's a bunch of
Yeah.
smoke up there, if anything was flying, its wing beats or whatever would probably push the smoke. So I'm gonna look to see if there's any of that.
You don't see anything flying in the sky or anything like that.
There's no smoke being disrupted.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, then I'll kind of. Are there buildings or is it just an open clearing?
Just forest, deep forest.
Okay. Well, then I'll approach even closer, get a better look.
All right. You're able to get actually a lot closer up to him, and still not see anything around. How close did you want to get?
I mean, if I don't see anything, I would like to get close until I can confirm something.
All right, no, that's fine.
If it's I mean,
it looks
the idea,
safe enough. You can get up like within 5 feet of them.
right? The idea of ghosts and things that might be invisible is still in my mind, so I'm not
Okay.
I'm not being fucking
Not cautious.
yeah, I'm being cautious the entire way
Yeah.
through.
No, that's understandable.
Right.
If you wanted, you can hold off 15 feet and give me an investigation at 15.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a lucky on that.
Okay.
Damn. All right, 21 total.
All right. He does have a crest on his armor. You see him in this half plate. His face looks like it was slashed by claws, like it was like ripped off by claws.
How many?
You look like his neck. You're guessing 4 to 5 from the damage to the face.
Okay.
The neck definitely looks like something sunk into it teeth-wise from that, from that distance. You can't really tell the bite mark pattern from there to take a full guess or anything, but it definitely looks like an injury you've seen from something like being like, teeth ripping out a throat.
How deep is the claw marks?
You'd have to get a little closer for that part. You can definitely easily tell though they're definitely over half an inch.
Okay. Based on how tall the dwarf was and the pattern that the claw marks go across his face, could I tell if it was swinging down or if it was swinging across?
The rake pattern is across the face.
So it's about the same height then.
Or it could have been on all fours when it swung at him.
Well, unless it has 5 legs, it would be on 3, right? So probably maybe a werewolf. Could be. How about the smell? I'm pretty familiar with the smell of werewolves.
You do smell some wet dog.
Right. Okay.
There's a symbol on the armor. This half plate. It's a crest.
Like a holy symbol?
Not really, but similar. It's a crest of the Circle Knights.
Okay. Familiar
It's
to
a
me at
group of you have heard of them throughout the realms. You have picked up some of the reports of them. They're mainly out of the Shadowlands. But they fancy themselves a heroic guild, like a heroic adventurers team. They go around pretty much trying to monster slay and do their things and then take back their heroic deeds to the Shadowlands.
How difficult would it be for me at my size? I'm 16, so not completely undoable, but would it be possible for me to grease the back of this dude and then pull him? Could I do that stealthily?
Yeah, you can pull him. I'm not sure why you want to pull him, but yeah.
Well, if he was recently killed, then we can bring him back and we can question him about all kinds of stuff. He would have more information than us, considering he was up close. Since he's on the outside of wherever this thing was, there's smoke to kind of get in the scent of the air. It would fuck up a dog's ability to sniff me if the werewolves were in the area. What direction is the wind blowing, D-Walk? Is it blowing from behind me or is it blowing from the other direction?
Blowing from the south.
I don't know what that means. I headed east, so is that what you said?
You were heading east. Behind you's west. The wind's blowing up from the south.
Okay, so not a direct line to wherever that they would have
No.
been.
No.
All right. Yeah, that's what I'll do then. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm in 15 now, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue my movement up. I'm going to grease underneath him, targeting him.
All right.
All right, give it a second. Nothing dramatic happening.
Not that you've noticed.
All right. How far is the sword from where he was?
Easily within 2 feet of the body. It fell from his hand.
I'm gonna take a quick look around to make sure nothing is gonna walk out from anywhere. And I'm gonna reach up real quick,
Okay.
grab him, and do a quick movement. Actually, you know what? I could expeditious retreat.
All right. You gonna try a stealth check on this as you do, or
Yeah, I definitely want to stealth check whatever I do.
disadvantage because you're dragging a half-plate individual.
Yeah.
The grease will help you drag them fast, but there's almost
Yeah. No, I got it.
Okay.
So we'll do stealth 1. That's a 24 total. And then stealth 2. And before you tell me if I pass, I'm gonna re-roll one of these. That's a 28. 29. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, it'll be 24 and a 29. Do I re-roll a 24? I don't think I re-roll a 24. No. Okay, yeah, so 24.
As illogical as the dice made this, somehow you were pulling a half-plated dwarf quietly through the fucking moss. I
told you I'm very
logically
good at
I don't know how the gods are.
well, there's no
allowing this.
friction, and I know that to pull him for a second, and I can pull him to the pattern of the breeze so that it sounds like leaves pulling or whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Grease
take his
all of the metal.
I'm gonna take his sword, by the way, with me when I do. Just
All
kind
right.
of put it through his belt or something. I'm assuming he has some sort of belt holster or whatever.
That is not what I thought you guys would do. All right, cool.
So I see Kevin coming back with a dead dwarf.
And
He literally drags a dead dwarf almost a mile back to camp.
well, he doesn't weigh anything because he's greased. I'm
no,
assuming I can
I'm-
get back there in 10 minutes. So
As he finishes dragging the dwarf into the camp, I gotta wake up and go, well, that's an unconventional breakfast if I've ever seen one.
I'm gonna
Hawks is like breakfast. What?
I'm gonna look at Caston and be like, I
Oh, fuck.
need you to do some of your life mojo.
I told
Look,
you.
yeah. Look, what I just had to do, you can do the life mojo.
Hawks kind of hides behind Rayne.
Look, first of all, I told you I didn't want this to be like a thing. Like people find out I can do this.
Yeah,
They
you're right.
ask
We
me
should
all the
just leave him
time.
dead.
Rayne, we need to burn the body.
Why do you want him? Why do you want him back?
Rayne, the body's gonna come back.
Bring him
That's
back.
the point.
No. It's gonna come back the other way.
How do you know?
Everything in Darkon comes back the other way.
It doesn't
Well,
always come back the other way.
It might come back wrong. First of all,
Right, so
and I'm
we'll
gonna look
tie
at
him up.
Kevin.
No. It's Darkon. Anything that dead in 24 hours comes back.
How long has this one been dead?
A couple minutes.
All right, we have to tie him up really well.
Yeah.
And don't make this a habit. All right, I don't want people. I don't want people to know that I can do this.
Right. I'm gonna take him out of his plate mail. Just leave him in his kind of short clothes underneath.
Okay.
Just so that way, if he does come back, we don't have to worry about armor class. Also, it was greased up, so tying him won't be difficult.
Kess just picks the dwarf up by his ankles and just shakes him.
Shakes the armor loose. All right. Well, I'm gonna hold the rope and I'm gonna dash cunning action dash around the tree like 5 times.
All right.
All right.
This is gonna take an hour.
That's fine. I'll cook breakfast while you do it.
Great.
Ox.
Hawks here.
Shh. Gotta be quiet. We need to do first is we need to make sure that this fire is covered. And I'm gonna show him a way to prevent the smoke from billowing. So it'll kind of go slowly in all kinds of directions. And we're also going to burn a couple nuts and things to mask the scent of anything we're cooking.
So give me a survival check to find the wood?
To find the wood? I was sleeping in a tree.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of wet from the river and area.
No. Hawks, you go find some wood.
Hawks goes walking into the forest.
I'm like, I swear to God, I slept in a tree. I have no idea where it is. Before Hawks leaves, I'm going to tell him not to be loud and not to go that way.
Oh, okay. Hawks actually rolled a 16. He comes walking back with a shit ton of wood.
Thank you.
It's just lying all over the place.
Well, I wouldn't know.
Hawks doesn't think Hawks thinks you're too far from the ground. You can't see close.
Right.
You guys all talking
That
about
must be
living
it.
past lives and too old, and Hawks thinks you're too old to look for things. Drops it down.
That's true. I am too old to look for things. And I'll just get you to do it. That's called experience.
Captain, if they're like 100 and they're like what he said he was, how old are you?
Well, not nearly as old as them.
First time ever.
Eat my balls. No, I'm
That doesn't taste right.
no, what did I say?
What?
I'm 41.
Where did you put my sister's skull?
Didn't you have it when you
I put it in your lap. She wanted to sleep with you.
Drama.
Hey now.
Hashtag drama.
It's not just sitting on the ground?
Oh, there it is. He goes and picks it
Oh,
up.
okay.
She got quiet. She stopped speaking. That was odd.
Oh,
He puts the skull back in his bag. She's talking again.
guess I have that effect on women. I don't know.
No, I won't tell him.
What? Tell me what?
She told me not to tell you.
She thinks
I'm
you're
going to
cute.
find more sticks.
She thinks you're cute. She
She's
likes
got a-
older men.
She's got a crush on me. Oh, well,
Yeah.
then she should be all into you.
No. I have the energy and youthful exuberance of a child.
Oh, that childhood thing you say you hate so much.
No, I use it when I need to.
Oh, okay. I
Wisdom
see.
of experience.
Ah, there it is. It sucks until it doesn't. Got it.
No. I'm not. It still sucks. I'd much rather be an adult. I would just tell the skull that I'm not interested.
But
I'm just saying that, like, hey, if I'm youthful, then I'm going to use that to my advantage whenever, like, if I'm asked to carry something heavy or,
gotcha.
I'm just
Gotcha.
be like, no, thank you.
When's that next growth spurt coming, by the way?
Well, since we haven't eaten yet, probably a little while out, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, let's get to cooking then.
So
you
you guys
can't wait to not be the oldest person. Oldest looking, anyway.
Thank
So
you.
Kevin nuts the fire and he gets the right smell out of it. That came out wrong.
You've done that a few times.
I couldn't hold it on that one though. That was the way
he nuts the fire.
That's
Oh,
alrighty then.
I'm too tired. All right.
Nut the fire. Get a burst of energy.
So you mask the smell of the cooking.
Fucking George
you
Washington
mask
Carver
the,
over here. Sorry.
You mask the smoke as much as you can, and you guys get your breakfast going. You guys eat. Kess is doing her hour-long ritual, and
So I wanted to, before I started casting it, I wanted to check the guy over because the spell will close mortal wounds, but it's not going to restore any missing body parts.
all right.
So I just want to make sure that, like, I'm not going to cast this and then he briefly comes back to life, but his heart is like ripped out of his chest, you know?
All right. No, you actually check and he's fine. He's fine in that regard. I mean, he's missing a couple fingers, but
That's fine.
the half plate actually did protect the majority of his torso.
Okay.
They were able to get up in here and rip out. But
Okay. So
it looks like he has most of the stuff to breathe.
okay. just kind of like push it all back into place.
Yeah, we can kind of like maybe use some toothpicks or something to hold some of the scarring on his face together.
Hey, you're cooking. Do you have any like bamboo skewers I can kind of just?
Ooh.
Yeah, because that's the kind of when I'm campfire cooking. That's out here in the middle of the fucking nowhere world. I always bring my bamboo skewers.
Getting all fancy.
I already nutted in the fire. What do you need from me?
So then I will start casting. The spell can't return an undead creature to life, but I assume I don't see any signs of him being undead.
Not if we hurry
No,
up.
you don't. No,
Okay.
he was not undead. He's just dead.
Okay. So this is going to take me an hour to cast. He cannot have been dead for longer than 10 days. His soul must be both willing and at liberty to rejoin his body, and then he will return to life with 1 hit point.
Dewalk described him as being heroic, part of a group of monsters hunters. So I
Mhm.
assume that the urge to fight is strong in him. That was my reasoning for bringing him back here.
The spell will neutralize any poisons and cure non-magical diseases that affected him at the time that he died. However, it will not remove magic diseases, curses, or similar effects if they are first removed prior to casting the spell. I don't know if he has anything. I'm not gonna, unless it's like very apparent. Spell closes on mortal wounds. Coming back from the dead is an ordeal. The target takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. Each time they finish a long rest, the penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears.
Right. Also, I'm gonna gag him.
Okay.
Yeah, Nate, chill the fuck out. I'm gonna put a piece of cloth so that he doesn't scream when he comes back, because that's what happened multiple times in the past. I remember that one time
At Bandcamp.
this girl I knew. I'm gonna look at Rayne and be like, brought back a bunch of people that she had accidentally killed in town, and it was really loud. It was really hard to read. So we'll make sure that we have that prepared before you start casting.
Are you
All right.
afraid that he's going to scream and give away our position, or are you
That one.
afraid? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
And I want to cast it, like I'll bring his body over kind of near where, if it hasn't been the full 8 hours, where my guardian of faith is.
Yeah, we tied him to the tree, so he's not moving.
Okay.
you also do recognize both you do, the circle, the crest of the circle knights on him.
Okay.
So you recognize another group of knights who think they're righteous and they go hunting evil, and they actually go out of the way to try to find evil to vanquish, which
Lame.
you
When
kind
he
of
comes,
suicidal in Ravenloft. But
when he comes back, we'll just lie and say that he was knocked unconscious and not killed. Deal?
Rayne,
Sure.
you've crossed paths with the circle before, your choice if it was hostile or not. So
I'm it was not hostile, but
okay.
indifferent, I guess would be. Now, but here's my question. You're gonna tell him that he was knocked unconscious, right? But
Well, that he was severely wounded and we nursed him back to his health.
okay. But in order for the spell to work,
His soul has to come back to his body, but he doesn't have any memory of what it was like to be an extra-dimensional soul after you come
Okay.
back.
All right. That's was my question, is would he realize that he was dead?
We had a bunch of people that came back and none of them ever mentioned anything about being extra-dimensional. So
Gotcha.
I just assumed that didn't retain in the human brain.
Okay.
It kind of depends with them if the soulless or soul, if they have a soul.
Okay.
There are those in the Dread Realms that are soulless. So,
Well, I'm assuming this guy is not soulless, but we'll find out, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to be hard to beat with a -4 and no armor.
Yeah.
To a fucking tree.
One hit point.
all greased up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not greased up anymore, luckily.
Ah.
Oh. All right. So does she start her ritual?
Yep.
All right. Full montage kind of goes in the background as she's doing her summoning ritual.
Here is
Kevin's
a
cook.
dead body I prepared earlier. We're eating omelets when it comes back.
Kess is like casting for an hour. Her stomach is growling. She can like smell the breakfast right behind her.
Kevin keeps flicking rocks at the dead body. Or not Kevin, Hawks keeps flicking rocks at the dead body.
Is it a verbal ritual or is it?
It's verbal and somatic and material, but David told me that he did not count material components for this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right.
So like
Yeah,
I couldn't occasionally bring over and like put a spoonful of scrambled eggs into her mouth to keep her.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
So
Just trying to help. Just trying to help.
Don't break my concentration.
Okay, sorry. Sit over there, starving.
So the hour passes, and you see the body of the dwarf. The eyes begin to glow, the mouth begins to glow as it seems that something's getting vacuumed in. And then the body begins to kind of snap and the bones pop as the eyes come open. And well, the mouth is gagged, so you really can't see that. My apologies.
You still see
The
his
eyes
I
more.
didn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
edit.
you still see the eyes, and he begins to muffle scream through the gag,
Gonna cover his mouth.
and his eyes go kind of wide, staring at you for a second.
Hey.
Shh.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. Listen. You were messed up. We found you. Now you're good. Well, sort of good.
You're
He
better
looks
than you
down at
were.
himself.
We weren't sure how you were going to come back. You needed to be careful.
He nods.
If I take this thing off and you scream, I will put you back in town. You understand? Not if you get it. Right. All right. I'm going to look around at everyone. Are you ready? I'm going to
Ready.
take the mouth guard off. What's your name?
Oi, I'm Duga.
Duga.
Dugar.
Dugar. Nice to meet you, Dugar.
You too.
You from around here?
We're in the land of Darkon, right?
Yep.
Originated. Well, technically, I originated from Shar. Well, then I fell through the mist years back into the Shadowlands, and now I'm over here hunting monsters.
I'm gonna
I used to hunt for I always used to hunt for the Silver Flame, but now I hunt monsters.
I'm gonna tap the piece of his armor, hold it up. Circle Knights. Seemed like you did a real bang up job.
Yeah, well, we were transporting a prisoner some artifacts and we got jumped.
Werewolves?
Lycanthropes.
Oh.
There was a wolf, but he wasn't what got us.
What got you?
It was the bear.
Where bears will do it.
And there was a weird one. I haven't seen one like him before.
Why's that?
Never seen a fish out of water.
I
Say again?
lean forward slowly.
I
A
mean, I've heard of were sharks. There was tales of the bastards.
Tails.
well, I think
Check it out, Rayne. Tails.
Bastard's kind of a strong word, but
Kess is gonna like chuckle at this joke, but she's like leaning backwards and grabbing a plate of breakfast, like bringing it over. Like, oh, that's funny. Good one, Tails.
Rest of your men dead?
They weren't when I went down.
Well,
they were still fighting.
I got some bad news for you, pal. Sounding like it got kind of quiet there. And since nobody came back for you, I'm assuming You know.
I would have thought they would have gone for the prisoner, but they didn't even care about him. I'm not sure what they came after us for, but
Who's a prisoner?
we caught a vampire.
Yeah.
Said he had information about a dreadlord.
Hmm.
We were going to take him back and interrogate him, but we didn't have the proper tools to deal with a vampire that way.
Need a
So,
vacuum.
well, we locked him in a box.
Oh, that works too.
He's
I guess
still
I'm
in the
gonna-
box.
What's the box look like?
It was a glass box,
Hmm.
sealed airtight.
We're gonna untie you. Is that all right?
I hope so. I got a major itch I need to scratch.
Well, okay. That's cool that you would say that. Gonna untie the rope.
He scratches his nose. Fuck. I've been wanting to do that since I, died.
You didn't die. You just were knocked out.
Yeah, you're just messed up pretty bad.
Tess is like talking with her mouth full.
I felt the teeth go into my neck.
Oh, that sucks.
I haven't forgot that. I appreciate you. I really do. Who do I have to thank for the second lease?
They left. They were just kind of traveling through.
Oh, may the flame bless them. Not that the flame reaches out here. I don't think there's any gods that reach out here. Fucking dread fucking realm. Oh shit. I think Carbon released the vampire.
Oh, great.
Who's Carbon?
One of the knights. The vampire was saying he'd help us again the fight. And we were going down hard. Carbon and I don't know, he made friends with the damn bloodsucker. I didn't want to believe it, but I can't remember for sure, but I thought I heard the case open. But
Getting back to the fish out of water, anything you can tell me about said were shark?
he stood about seven. I think it was 7 feet tall.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen smaller half dragons.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a weird stripes on him too.
Did he now? Okay.
You know the bloke?
I might have heard a thing or two about a particular individual matching that description. Yes.
All right.
Any but no idea why they jumped you, except that you were carrying a vampire that had information about a dreadlord. Which dreadlord, by the way, did he have information about?
Zorovic.
I
Who?
turn to
He's Strahd. Strahd was the first name, and Zorovic the last.
You have Strahd in a glass box?
No.
No.
We had a
Oh.
vampire that claimed he had information about Zorovic.
Oh.
We kept hearing
Zarvich.
rumors he was Zarvich.
Yeah.
He's dead.
That's
Yep.
what we heard.
You heard
This
right?
guy says he's not dead, but or at least he swears that he'll come back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Fucking vampires.
Can't trust them. So whoever attacked you wasn't after your vampire. You said you were transporting an artifact?
Artifacts.
Artifacts.
Which ones?
I like y'all. I really do. But there's something there that nobody should have their hands on.
How about you just tell us what it is?
You ever heard of the Crimson Death? The Crimson Mist?
Have I ever heard of the Crimson Mist?
It's an ancient Draconian.
Would I have read it in any of those books?
Give me an intelligence check. It's called the Crimson Death.
Any particular type of intelligence or just intelligence?
Arcana would work if you want to do Arcana or if you have a history.
Knowing what I know about said wereshark, would I know if
20.
that's what he's after?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
22.
All right. Anybody else want to do a check?
I'll try. You said an intelligence check, Arcana?
Yeah, Arcana or history.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm in the same. Oh shit, I don't know.
19.
All right. The Crimson Death was a plague that reached out back in the early days of Adelin's career. It killed about a fifth, every fifth of the Draconians that it infected. I mean, they thought it was mainly wiped out by this point. It's been hundreds of years since it went out. But if you go in the wrong tomb and open up the wrong thing, you'll find still active particles or active actual of the Crimson Death virus.
Right.
We came across a jar of it.
So closed.
Oh, it's sealed, all right. But we got to get it out. It's not something you can leave in the open.
Boy, that sounds like a nice little thing for my lab again. Something to really start off.
Lad, you're a little too young to understand, but I don't think you can handle this. And you're starting to creep me out.
I'm not gonna take notes from a guy who I just rescued. Just not gonna happen.
I'm not gonna take notes from a kid just hitting puberty.
I think you should start taking some notes. I'm gonna toss him a piece of paper, a piece of parchment. As like a sarcasm, like start.
Is he one of your kids?
No.
No.
I'm independently actualized, thank you.
Oh, is that what they call these days?
I'm gonna light a pipe.
Oh shit! He has his big boy pants.
I'm a little older than I look. Can this guy be trusted? Does he seem like he's trustworthy?
Nobody's inside him.
I'm gonna look at Cass.
I'm not the right person to do that.
Cass is gonna like scrape up the last of the eggs and like eat her last bit of toast and set her plate aside.
I'm here to investigate.
And then she'll insight this guy.
All right.
I like she's doing this like in the movie Hook. There you are, Peter. Like
31.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you're pretty sure he's not lying. He hasn't really had a reason to.
No, Strahd.
I look him over and then I look at Kevin and I just like nod and then I lean over and grab a cup of coffee.
I killed Strahd. My name is Master Kaeviir the Professional. Second professional of the Black Spire.
He kind of head tilts at you sideways.
I'm gonna reach into Kess's bag, and I'm gonna pull out the helmet, just to slam it in front of him.
He slides back and tries to grab his sword.
I'm gonna kind of shove it back in the bag.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Needed it for a minute. Nice to meet you.
Helm.
I'm Master Kaeviir.
That fucking helm.
Yeah, I told you we killed him. You're welcome.
He just looks at you like his mind's broke right now.
Trust me, this is the least weird of the things that's going to come to light.
I've seen that helm slay 20 of my brethren.
Yeah, he wasn't that hard. Nice to meet you again, Master Kaeviir, the professional. How you doing? Pardon, I'm gonna look at kind of like down at myself. Pardon the form. Still growing into it.
Word said you died.
Yeah, well, that's not true.
I died too. So
Well, no, you actually did like a death thing. I did a different. It's like a transitional.
wait. The professional rode with the werewolf.
Yeah, Chinakote.
Obviously, it's not her.
Nope,
But
it's not him either.
yeah, the story. I mean, it said he was human,
Sorta.
I'm new.
and he looks at Kess.
I know what you're thinking, but just don't vocalize it because it's a whole thing for us right now.
Yeah.
But
That's
yes,
still a work in progress.
I'm gonna point at him and be like, but yes, but yes.
Uh,
You're what you're thinking is accurate-ish, but we don't.
Hey, are you guys gonna eat this toast?
No, go ahead.
All right, thanks.
are y'all? Did you all kill Aslan?
Part of me wants to take credit for it, but no, that wasn't us.
So he really did find a way to break the realms.
No, that's not what I said. I said I didn't kill him.
But if you didn't kill him,
Somebody else might have.
but the realm is shattering like someone didn't take his place.
Maybe no one did take his place. Maybe some person like us went through and killed him. We're not rare. You guys are just low tier. You know? Don't worry, you'll get there. If we stick around saving you.
He closes his own jaw. I need to think. I need to check my friends. I need to bury the dead.
No, you need to wait a minute.
You're
Trust
gonna
me,
be.
No, you don't understand.
You're gonna be real
Those
weak
bodies.
for a while.
I get that, but if those
got
bodies aren't
24
taken care of
hours.
and burned,
You got 24 hours. All right. We rush up there right now. You're just gonna get offed again. It's gonna be a whole thing we're gonna have to deal with. It's just do what we say. Been doing this for a minute.
is that a fucking kobold?
Oh, that's Hawks, yeah. Good dude. Little
You have a pet kobold?
It's not a pet. It's a guy. It's a person we know.
But kobolds are evil creatures.
That's an
Look,
exception to every rule.
Fox is all right.
Yeah.
When you work in the field that we work in, you have a looser, more kinesthetic understanding of what evil and good are.
Y'all brought me back. I ain't gonna step into that one more than I already have.
Smart. Good, you're learning.
Oh shit. I hope to God they didn't get the canister. We can't afford for that to get out again.
Well, I have a lab for it to you know what? While we're on the subject, have you seen a flying ship? Like a boat, but in the air. It's mine.
I heard about it.
Yeah, and you know the person that operates it, flies it, the captain. Victor?
You talking about the necromancer?
Yeah, him.
Oh yeah, we've run across him.
It's my student.
Your student's gone to the dark side.
Nah.
Him and that fucking druid.
Nah. Yeah, that's misunderstanding. I've known him a lot longer than I've known you.
Never fought anything like he summons. He summoned these damn things that just wouldn't die.
Yeah.
No matter what we did to them, they fucking wouldn't die. They break and then they come back. They break and they come back. And then that fucking druid kid summoned some fucking beast from the ground.
Probably Nick.
I don't know his name. We couldn't fight it. The damn thing kept trying to fucking drag us off to some tree.
Well, again, I just want to reiterate, you guys are very not good at your job.
We slay evil. It's what we do.
No, you don't. You get slain by evil. I've seen one interaction with you and evil won. And now you're ready to walk face first back into it and get your ass handed to you again. Look, why don't you have an omelet? Have some toast. Take a load off. And we'll get you squared away. What do you think? Just answer some questions for us?
Yeah. I can do that.
Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail. Ready?
Ready.
Hey, everybody. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
Oh, shit. I did this wrong already. I just introed myself and not the show. Oof.
This is the Dees show.
Hey, welcome to the D show. This is that bitch who's here. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.